If they just keep clapping, we won't have to talk.
That's true.
That's all right.
Well,
I'd just like to say I have no idea why I'm here. I think because Zsa Zsa wasn't available.
You just found out why he's here. At any rate, welcome also.
I'm trying to just
behalf.
wait for him to explain why I'm here. That's what I want to know.
Well, most people, when they hear something like funny numbers, think this is like an oxymoron, like recreational mathematics or something of that sort, yes. And so at least I just wanted to say, to start off, that this is an old tradition. I got a book here from 1612. This is by Claude Gaspard Bachet, and it's called...
And I thought this was going to be dull.
Yes. Well, the title of the book is Pleasant and Delectable Problems Made Out of Numbers. And, and it turns out this started a whole tradition of books about numbers and party games and how to guess numbers and things of that sort. And there are many such. I don't know if you know Martin Gardner's stuff at all?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably the current leader of this tradition.
Mm-hmm.
He's written a lot of
I know a different Martin Gardner. I'm sorry.
There's two of everything.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Well, what are you gonna?
I wanted to tell you about the book. You're welcome to look at it. It's in French.
It's in French.
It's in French.
Oh, that's it's no problem. No problem.
That's
at all.
right. I've heard you say chapeau.
Yes, I did. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So,
However,
yeah, I love the here. Let me, and then it's in French. It's some kind of dirty trick. I know there.
I have some more dirty tricks.
Demean show business.
But anyway, so I thought we might start by having you read some of the stuff you've written. Everybody knows Steve Martin's movies, and everybody knows he's a wild and crazy guy, and yeah. But not everybody knows that he's done a lot of writing. He's written for The New Yorker, and I guess people around here should know. You were interviewed about your book, Shop Girl, I think right here with David Kippen about a year ago from the Chronicle. But at any rate, this is one of the pieces that... Did this one appear in The New Yorker? I guess the other.
What do you have there?
I have here Hillbilly...
That has never appeared anywhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is a first.
Yeah.
Hillbilly scientists postulate three-dimensional universe.
Okay. I'll do this quickly. I think reading can get a little boring, but maybe not as boring as us. So I'll just read this till it runs out of steam. Hillbilly scientists postulate three-dimensional universe. Hillbilly scientists working from a shanty in the Ozarks have raised the possibility that the universe has three dimensions. The following are excerpts from a text published last week in American Hillbilly Scientist. Our first idea that the universe might be three-dimensional came from our study of wormholes. Jebediah has an old three-drawer desk, and while we were throwing it out, we noticed its back was riddled with hundreds of them. We noticed the wormholes went in and out. We laid the chest on its side and noticed how the holes now went up and down. This gave us a total of 5 dimensions. Up, down, in, out, and sideways. Later, we condensed up and down into hither, and later, in and out into thither. It was confusing at first because unlike in and out, sideways is sideways no matter what direction one goes. We were tempted to divide sideways into left and right, but quickly ascertained sideways' similarity to hither and thither, and understood that it is really one dimension. It should be noted that sometimes we refer to sideways as yawn. Should I keep going? I don't know.
Yes.
It's like, anyway, you get the idea. Well, I'll find something. Oh, yes. Our next experiment involved dropping a cannonball from the court bell tower to see if it would fall up, down, or sideways. As we suspected, the ball fell down, unfortunately catching mudslide on the side of his head while he was standing beneath it with a stopwatch. He now sings Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer true, just like the computer Hal in the movie 2001. Okay, that's enough of that.
Well, can I read just the opening? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. There's a sort of somewhat relevant piece of writing
that
here.
It's somewhat relevant.
Somewhat relevant to this.
That's as close as we're going to get,
That's
by the way. Yeah.
This is from an essay called Hissy Fit. Remember that one?
Okay, go ahead, yeah.
And it starts out this way. Let us assume there is a place in the universe that is so remote, so driven by inconceivable forces, where space and time are so warped and turned back on themselves that 2 + 2 no longer equals 4. If a mathematician were suddenly transported and dropped into this unthinkable place, it is very likely that he would throw a hissy fit. Anyway, it's relevant in the sense that both of these indicate you have this kind of interest in, I don't know, science, cosmology.
kind of science. Exactly. You talk. Yeah. Science, cosmology, but it's amateur. It's amateur interest.
That's okay.
And I guess when I was in high school, I practiced magic, and that led me to magic squares. I used to be able to make magic squares. It was actually quite simple. And that is the extent of my education right there. Yeah. Then I became an actor.
But you still have these interests. So
I do.
You
Anything kind of jumbly, like anagrams. I like anagrams. What else do I like? Sex. So anagrams, sex is what I like. Yeah.
Sex and anagrams. That's okay. But you must like writing because you seem to do a lot of it.
Yes, I do enjoy that. That's when you're not having sex, you would write or, yeah. Okay. No, I do enjoy writing, and I like those. I like twisting. I don't know. Is there another better example, like maybe from a different author? What do we have here? Oh, Schrodinger's cat. We'll get to those things if we want to, but okay, that was no good. All right.
The Doug Hofstadter, did you want to
Doug Hofstadter, yes. Well, this is good for mathematicians' humor. Doug Hofstadter asked me to do a humor. They were giving a sort of one of these seminar on humor. This was a couple of years ago, and he did something that I found so funny. And I said, Doug, what was that? Because I can't remember it. And so he sent it to me. And as I read it, I realized it was something like what I used to do in my comedy act years and years ago was a joke for plumbers that only plumbers would get. And the joke was, had used a lot of plumber lingo. And this is what he said. He said, what I mainly this is only a short paragraph, what I mainly talked about, and it's actually quite funny, but what I mainly talked about at the 1997 Stanford Humor Symposium was the question, what happens to various letter strings, e.g., PQR or XYZ, if ABC changes to ABD? And I gave a number of reasonable answers. PQR becomes PQS. And unreasonable answers. PQR becomes ABD. And then some very interesting, weird, by the way, he is finding this hilarious. And I know that when he's typing, he's like, God. And then some very interesting, weird answers, some of which had an arguably humorous quality to them. E.g., if ABC becomes ABD, then XYZ becomes DYZ, which involves seeing the deep analogy between ABC and XYZ, wedged at the respective ends of the alphabet. Does that make any sense, or is it just too hard to follow? I need a smarter audience. I'm sorry. Anyway, hilarious. Oh, but then he goes on. Here's what I like. He says, another example that I remember giving of humor, or at least, by the way, yes, it does have its own sense of, or at least pseudo-humor, in this micro world, was a counterpart, at least in my opinion, to the well-known swimming pool sign, "We don't swim in your toilet, please don't pee in our pool." Namely, the analogy, if ABC implies ABS, then PQR becomes PQD. The idea here was that the misfit S, introduced to the ABCD stretch of the alphabet, but actually belonging to the PQRS stretch, was like the inappropriate act of swimming in a toilet. Funny letters.
Funny letters.
Yeah. We promised funny numbers, we got funny letters. I'm sorry. I have a question for you, Bob.
Uh-oh. We didn't bargain.
I do.
Okay.
Now, it's a question about pi. Because pi doesn't work.
You've tried.
All right? Pardon me?
You've tried. It didn't work.
Well, I and others have tried. It doesn't work out.
Tell me.
Well, you think, okay, you're looking at the universe, and you, mathematicians, physics mathematicians try to categorize the universe according to mathematical formulas. Is that not true? Or am I wrong?
You're right.
I'm right, in a way. Okay, and I'm right for a celebrity guy from California.
You're right.
Okay.
You're right. No qualification.
So you look at pi, and you're looking at a circle. You compute pi, it just keeps going forever. It's not right. It doesn't quite do it. Almost does it. It almost does it. So my question is, are all these formulas that you're creating to predict things, they kind of almost do it?
Yes.
So these two things, the universe and math, are not really related. They're ways of understanding, or putting it in our terms. So you can come close to making very accurate, or you can make many very accurate predictions, but sometimes it just all falls apart, like pi. I can see what you don't understand. So that's my question. Is it linked? Is the mathematics linked to phenomena, or is it just applied to phenomena?
I got two answers to that. So answer number one, I was involved teaching this course for a while with a physicist and engineer. It was a team-taught course. And we called it modestly The Nature of Technology, Science, and Mathematics.
Good.
And we started off with 2 weeks just talking about numbers. And each of us got up and talked about numbers the way we thought about it. And it was quite a revelation. We thought about numbers completely differently. So for a mathematician, pi is something which doesn't end. It goes on forever.
Right.
For a physicist, if he can get something right to 6 decimal places, he is pretty happy. And so they're always looking for ways of getting closer and closer. For an engineer, if he's off by 50%, whatever. Back of the envelope. You want to get a rough, and that's good. I mean, you say you measure the stress here, and you say it's not going to fall down unless it has so much stress, and then you double it, and then you feel you're on the safe side. So they mean different things. But there's this famous incident which you may know about, the Indiana legislature, where they decided. You were there.
The Indiana. Go ahead. Yeah, the pi. The pi, right.
Pi. So it turned out that
I did know about that.
Back in 1897, a bill was introduced in the legislature in Indiana to set the value of pi and legislate that it was some value, which ended. They didn't like these things going on forever. So this guy, he was a doctor from the town of Solitude, Indiana, I think. So he said he would give it free to the state, his value of pi, if they passed this law. Other states were going to have to pay. So this was sent.
What was his value, 2.9?
Well, it turns out when you start looking, he had a whole, it's hard to say, 4 256 over 81. He had different values. He didn't, but any one of them would do. So at any rate, this was sent to
If I start going like this, it doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
Go ahead.
This is sent to the Committee on Canals, which was called popularly the Swamp Committee. And they forwarded it to the Education Committee, who recommended it be passed. So the House of Representatives passed it. And it got sent up to the Senate in Indiana to become law. And the Senate looked at it, and they couldn't decide. It's still sitting there. It hasn't been acted on. So there's this bill which was going to set the value of pi.
And that's the end of the story?
I could go on, but I think that's enough. Okay, I got a question for you.
Okay.
What is this?
What is that?
You're allowed to open it.
I'm allowed to open it. Oh, okay. It has some Asian writing on the front. And it is, anthrax. Oh, no. This is it an ancient magic square?
It is.
Uh-huh.
Got it the first time.
In what language?
Well, it's Chinese, except it looks like some Chinese version of Arabic numerals.
It does. It looks very close. It's a little, it's a magic, here, let me take it out.
So, my friend Dave Hoffman just came back from China, and he found this in a museum.
Oh, I already saw what it was.
And in fact...
Anyway, you'll never see this in a million years, but there's some writing on there, and
Here, it tells you all about it in Chinese and English.
I'll just go backstage. I'm going to work on this. Okay, good. We'll do that
It's a
later.
present for you.
Okay, thanks.
So,
I prefer a cash gift as promised, but
so you've got would you like to read this part
Sure.
about magic squares? 'Cause I thought
This is from. We did that. Did that. We can't get to that. That is too.
What are we not going to get?
That's more Douglas Hofstadter.
Oh, okay.
I times I.
Yes.
Yeah.
Aye, sir.
Let's see. We probably won't do Schrodinger's cat. We might. Let's see. I got to find it. Sorry. We did that. That was a bit of a failure. That over there, and we did that. This is from a new book of mine that is coming out next year, and it's called The Pleasure of My Company. And it is a novel, fictional, and it's about a character who's slightly neurotic, meaning has compulsions, and one of his compulsions is counting. And I don't know which to read first. One of his things is he will make a magic square. If he's struck by anxiety, one of the ways to calm down is to go home and create a magic square. And a magic square, it explains what it is in case you don't know. This might be too long. I might have to cut it in the middle. He had a tremendous anxiety-producing episode, and he says, I decided to head toward home where I could make a magic square. Making a magic square would alphabetize my brain. Alphabetize is my slang for alpha-beta eyes, meaning raise my alphas and lower my betas. Staring into a square that has been divided into 256 smaller squares, all empty, all needing unique numbers, numbers that will add up to the same number, whether they're read vertically, horizontally, or diagonally, focuses the mind. During moments of crisis, I've created magic squares composed of 8, 16, even 64 boxes, and never once has it failed to level me out. Here's last year's, after two 75-watt bulbs blew out on a Sunday and I had no replacements. Then there's a magic square. Each column and row adds up to 260, but this is a lousy 8x8 square. Making a 16x16 square would soothe even the edgiest neurotic. Benjamin Franklin, who as far as I know was not an edgy neurotic, was a magic square enthusiast. I assume he tackled them when he was not preoccupied with boffing a Parisian beauty, a distraction I do not have. His most famous square was a king-size brain teaser, which did not sum correctly at the diagonals unless the diagonals were bent like boomerangs. Now that's flair. Plus he dodged electrocution by kite. Albrecht Dürer played with them too, which is good enough for me. I'll skip that little part. Once home, I laid the poster board on my kitchen table and with a magic marker and T-square quickly outlined a box. I drew more lines, creating 256 empty spaces. I then sat in front of it as though it were an altar and meditated on its holiness. Fixing my eyes on row 1, column 1, a number appeared in my mind, the number 200. I entered it into the square. I focused on another position. Eventually, I wrote a number in it, 26. As soon as I wrote 26, I felt my anxiety lessen, which makes sense. The intuiting of the second number necessarily implied all the other numbers in the grid, numbers that were not yet known to me, but that existed somewhere in my mind. I felt like a lover who knows there is someone out there for him, but it is not someone he has met. I filled in a few other numbers, pausing to let the image of the square hover in my black mental space. Its grids were like a skeleton through which I could see the rest of the uncommitted mathematical universe. Occasionally a number appeared within the apparition, and I would write it down in the corresponding space of my cardboard version. The making of the square gave me the feeling that I was participating in the world, that the rational universe had given me something that was mine and only mine, because you see, there are more possible magic square solutions than there are nanoseconds since the Big Bang.
Right after that passage, there is a 16 by 16 magic square in the book. So if you hadn't seen one before, that's a big one. By the way, just I want to mention in passing, this engraving by Dürer is right now on exhibit at the University Berkeley Art Museum.
He puts a magic square in the engraving.
There's a recess right above the figure. It's called Melancholy. There's the figure, and there's this recess, and there's this 4x4 magic square, which he writes so that the bottom two numbers, 15 and 14 in the center, put the date of the engraving. It was done in 1514. So it's actually quite neat. You could look at if you go to this exhibit. But I was just curious how you got interested in magic squares in the first place.
Well, it was strictly from magic. You know, you would buy these books. I was probably 15 or 16. You'd buy books on magic, and they would have parlor games and tricks. And it was, a way for a young kid to kind of. It's like doing a crossword. You know, you're just there and you're just focused on it, and it's really not difficult. It's really just a pattern of horseshoe, knight's moves. And I did it for a while, and then I completely forgot how to do it. I tried to remember when I was writing this book, because it's only a short passage in the book, but I couldn't find it again, how to create it. I'm sure someone here knows how to make a magic square.
Well, this book by Bachet that I mentioned is...
Yeah. Well, I'll go to school for 7 years and learn French, and then I will get the book. Yeah.
So originally people just fiddled around, as you say, and try to make it work. But there's a neat story I was reading in one of these books. I guess they were invented in China originally, somewhere between 2,000 and 4,000 years ago. You know, these dates are somewhat approximate. But at any rate, they definitely came from there. So there's this story of the method you're talking about is sometimes called the de la Loubert method. This French, he was the envoy of the Sun King, Louis XIV, to the King of Siam. And on the way back...
Believe me, you're not telling me nothing I don't know.
I know. I'm reminding you from your childhood.
Prop up.
So on the way back, he meets this guy coming from India who says, "What are you doing?" And he shows him. And the guy from India says, "Oh, I just learned the great method of actually making a real mathematical method, which is this." So de la Loubert comes back and he wrote a book about his time in Siam, talked about this method, and now all these books call it de la Loubert's method, of course, what else? So what I wanted to ask you is about how you got into, yes?
Go ahead. I have a question for you, but go ahead. I'll see if your question is valid. And then if it's not, then I will ask my question. No, what's your question?
My question is, again, coming back to your writing, before you really got in the movies, you were writing for the Smothers Brothers, got
Right.
an Emmy Award.
Right.
And there just was this special on. I don't know, did you see it?
I did see that, The
Yeah.
Smothered, about the censorship of the Smothers Brothers.
It was about
Yeah.
how they came up and quite miraculously they were pitted against, who was it, Bonanza or somebody? That was supposed
Bonanza was a big show, and and every show failed against Bonanza,
Right.
and then these two kids came on, and they were daring, and no one had ever been daring on television, at least of this kind. And they started doing political humor, and people started. I mean, it was a counterculture movement. It would have been 1967, 68, 69. So it was, you'd have rock acts on, and there would be psychedelic lights behind them. And that was amazing for the time. I mean, it was like, oh my God, they've tapped into my head. And, but there was a lot of daring. I was surprised at some of the material. I remembered some of it, and I thought, oh yeah, it was a little edgy. And I definitely had the feeling that we were shut down by the president, Nixon. I don't have a...
Oh, it was right after he came in, I guess, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then, he was enemies list, paranoid, and I'm sure there was some strings pulled there.
Huh.
Yeah.
So what was it like writing for it? I was just wondering.
It was extremely exciting. It's one of those all-consuming jobs in your youth where hours mean nothing, 14, 15 hours, and you had to hear, it would be 10 at night, and someone would come and say, it's going to be a late night. Oh, and you would, So it was very exciting. It was very hot. It was like being at the center of, a very small universe. Kind of like Saturday Night Live was or is sometimes, too, very exciting.
And you were...
But I was naive. I was 22 years old and, trying to think of funny things.
So did you all work together as a group? Or you
No, I was teamed at first with Rob Reiner and then with Bob Einstein.
So you worked in pairs then? And
yes, we were
developed
writing
material?
teams. Yeah, and you kind of go insane. You kind of develop, maybe that's where this came from. You're closed in a room and no windows and pounding out material and just kind of going mad. I remember one of my first images was sitting in a room. I was 21 years old, and in walked Pete Seeger. I thought, how did I get here? And he was playing the banjo, and I was just so amazed. And there was a lot of... It was the kind of thing, too, where 1 week on the Smothers Brothers, you would have the Beatles on. And you would think, oh my God, it's going to be the biggest rating in the history of the world. And then the numbers would come out and it'd be fine. Next week, Kate Smith, huge numbers. Nothing had changed. Counterculture was this big.
Well, speaking of the banjo,
Yes.
what about you do it some banjo?
Okay, we'll get it. Could you bring out? We're trying to fill time, and so we decided that the banjo. Thank you very much. The banjo was mathematical, so so we'll give it a try. But I have a question for you while I'm doing this. In your book, Poetry of the Universe, that's something I found so fascinating. As we look up into the stars and the Hubble and everything, we know we're looking back in time.
Right.
All right? And we believe that it all started at a center point, the Big Bang. Yet, no matter what direction you look, you're looking back in time. So it's not leading to a central point, at least in our three-dimensional thinking. And you had an analogy in your book of trying to explain that, which I found to be so interesting. And it was, if I, or someone like me, were standing at the South Pole and someone was pouring chocolate over the Earth, emanating from a central point, pardon me?
From the North Pole.
From the North Pole, right, yeah. And that was implied. And so you would look up and you would see chocolate in every direction, but it's emanating from a central point. But it's still a bit weird.
Yes. What's the question?
The question is... The question is... I don't know. I want you to elaborate on it.
Well,
What if it weren't chocolate? What if it were white chocolate? What if it were caramel?
Well,
Oh, I have a story about this. It's kind of, I don't know. A couple of years ago, I was asked to play the banjo on Earl Scruggs' 75th anniversary record. And so I did, and weirdly, won a Grammy. It's like, I have a Grammy that says Best Country Instrumentalist. And it doesn't name anybody else. Doesn't say Earl Scruggs, oh, by the way. It just says me. And which reminds me that I've never won an award in my field. I'll probably win an award for math. This banjo was made in 1926, and it's a good banjo. It's by Gibson Banjo. And so I was sitting with Earl and his wife Louise, having breakfast after our Grammy win, and we're all celebrating. And I said, I think these banjos are worth a little money now. And I said, I think my Florentine is worth about $25,000. And Louise said, yeah, well, they're worth about $200,000. I said, what? She said, they're worth $200,000. I said, I have 3. And she says, I'll give you $25,000 for it right now. And so she said, look, call this guy in Nashville. He knows all the prices, and he's the guy. So now I'm thinking, oh my God, I can't play it. What am I going to do? And I have a banjo sitting in another house, and it's just loose. I went up and got it. Now I have all the banjos. And so I'm thinking, I've got to get insurance. Oh no, it's going to be awful. And so about a week goes by, and I called the guy in Nashville, and he's a long-winded talker. And he's talking about the banjos, a double head, double flange, arched top, and I'm going, mm-hmm. I said, so George, what do you think these Florentines are worth? And he said, well, with your name attached, about $8,000. So that's what it's. So I know that sounds like a lot, but not compared to 200. Anyway. Think of this in mathematical terms. Didn't you have you have something about a banjo neck being a slide rule?
Yeah. There
you go. You thought we couldn't make the transition. What is it?
Tom Lehrer pointed this out to me. You need 2 banjos. And if you got 2 banjos, and you put them together, did I bring the other banjo? I may have another banjo.
Yeah.
Did I bring another banjo? No, I didn't bring a banjo, but I brought my father's slide rule.
Uh-huh.
So
do they make those anymore, slide rules?
I think the last slide rule maker went out of business a few years ago. They did for a long time. But everybody had a slide rule at some point. I mean, everybody of a certain group. You were an engineer and you had one in your pocket or something like this. But at any rate, So it's just divided up instead of into even parts, into parts where each interval is a fraction of the fixed fraction, and that's exactly the way a banjo, the frets are put on a banjo.
A banjo and a guitar?
Or a guitar or a lute.
Mm-hmm.
And so the idea is if you want to multiply two numbers and you don't have your slide rule or your calculator or whatever, you bring out your two guitars.
It makes a lot of sense.
You just slide them next to each other, and voila, you multiply your numbers by just adding.
And there you go. And this would be so much more convenient.
Yeah. So music is math again. That's,
I guess it is.
Right.
Except for the emotional part. But anyway.
You don't think math is
But
emotional?
math is emotional. I have that question. Do you find it, that theory of, what is it called? I mean, it's the idea of a beautiful theory. It's a
Right.
beautiful formula, beautiful.
Right.
But doesn't have
That's
a name. What is it?
You mean elegant or beautiful?
Elegant, of course. No, but I mean it's somebody's Occam's razor or.
Oh, that's.
Yeah. Is that it?
But that's sort of simpler rather than beautiful.
You always put
Yeah.
me down.
That's because I can't play the
The
banjo.
one little contribution I make. Hollywood.
How about another piece on a banjo?
Well, what is Occam's razor?
So, the way I understand it is if you have to decide, you take the one that gives the simplest answer between two theories.
Isn't that kind of
Simple is
elegance?
kind of
What
beautiful.
elegance is? Pardon me?
No?
Who's talking?
We can't see
I
you.
hear it, but hey, where's Robin?
Right here, Steve.
Hey, Robin!
What's up, brother?
What are you doing?
I'm watching you play banjo and talk about hillbilly signs.
Robin, by the way, Robin Williams, in case you didn't know, is very interested in science and math, and I'm serious, like way more into it than I am. You think I'm kidding, but say something intelligent, Robin.
That the human body was designed by an engineer because only an engineer would put a waste processing plant near a recreation.
Would you like to come up here?
Come on up.
Come on
Come
up.
here. Oh, thanks.
Sit on the floor.
No.
Put it over here.
Here. Oh, good. I get to put this away.
Oh, no.
I'm putting that away.
I'll sit here at Dad's feet.
done. Yeah.
You know, if you believe mathematics will become unnecessary and we could fly. I'll come sit over here next to you.
Now, Robin.
Now, Steve.
It's true that you're very interested in. Sorry, Bob. It's fun talking with you. You are very interested in
Mathematics, physics, and
physics. That's the word I've been searching for all night.
and elegant.
And elegance.
Yeah,
Well,
and quantum, how can you be in two places at once when you're not anywhere at all? That's right. And the Mobius stripper who takes off the clothes and they go right back on.
I even get that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's like. Or Rene Descartes walks into a bar and the bartender says, "Would you like a beer?" And Rene says, "I think not," and disappears. oh, thanks. That's so much
great.
better.
Sure.
Yeah, boy, that's comfortable. What's wrong? The gynecological chair wasn't available?
Oh, that's good.
Mi mẹ ai quay ở cô này lại đây. Cô mà nó này không ngồi lại mọi giờ. Em là giờ em là mai yêu nó.
But what's
Pygmy
this have to do
physicist.
with math?
Yeah. Well, it's a pygmy working out a problem.
I mean, if Bumanai walks at 15 miles an hour and the jaguar takes off before him, how long will it take him to starve to death?
We can go. No, but take one of those questions you're going to direct at me and direct it over here.
This is for the car.
So,
Are we going to disappear in a hole if I get this wrong?
No, but you have a lot of, we've talked about, what do we talk about? There's something you're good at.
Well, I can't do that here.
Physics and... we've done everything else.
What about pie?
It seems to go on.
I'm fascinated by the same thing you about physics, and I called Stephen Hawking's house once, and hello, this is Stephen Hawking. I'd like to leave a message. No, this is Stephen Hawking. But I'm fascinated by, the same things you say, that, you have the universe, and you mentioned it, you said that pi goes on and on and on, and you said, well, we could come close, but not near enough. So it's like saying,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's it?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank God pi didn't work out.
It didn't work out, yeah, because, we approach each other, but, it's always that little, the arithmetic equations just go, and to infinity, which is a town in Montana. There's a town called Infinity, Montana. You can never get there. You can be right on the city limits, but you never get in. You just get closer and you get 1/8 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch.
Well, I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question
Xenomontana.
for Bob.
Yeah.
Robin and I have a question for you.
Right, Bob.
Does this mean we do not know the area of a circle? Ever?
well, yes.
Aha!
Now you've got him, Holmes.
Yes! Yes!
So that bullet hole's not real.
So, Mr. Osserman, you admit that we do not know the area of a circle.
Perhaps this woman will refresh her memory. Or maybe these apples who've been doing nothing but sitting there in inertia. Now will you say
apple
Newton?
So,
With that, he came up with gravity. Who the knew? Everybody else went, things fall. It's an attraction for a larger object for a very, very attractive object.
so I had this here idea.
Go ahead.
How about the two of you read Some Far from Picasso with the Lapin Agile? Einstein, Picasso.
Okay.
Picasso, okay?
You're Picasso.
I think you should be
Okay.
Einstein, but I don't know. I can
Einstein
get my
from the
glasses
others
and...
Okay.
There they are.
Hold on.
Let's go.
Let me move this.
First, I have to
Here
go
we are.
abuse the woman.
Okay. I'll be... Do you have two copies? This is a
made
total
two-
surprise.
I made two copies.
You made two copies. Look at that.
I revised it a little, you don't mind.
What'd you say?
He said he revised it a little. I hope you don't mind.
That's fine.
He's worked for a network. He understands.
Oh, I see. You cut some...
we're
Oh, there he
here.
goes.
Where are you going?
You're on,
Here we
Bob.
go. Okay.
You've got your... Oh, those are the magic squares.
Those are the
I
magic
see.
squares.
Oh,
So,
That's a fun game show.
Oh, this
Center
is good.
square to block.
Okay. This is... We should tell them...
yeah,
them
tell them where you are.
what this is. This is an excerpt from my play Picasso at the Lapin Agile, and it takes place in 1905 when Picasso and Einstein were young men. Both Einstein had just written the special theory of relativity, and Picasso was about to paint Les Demoiselles d'Avignon. They were young men. They knew they were geniuses. What?
In Paris, right?
Well, they're meeting in Paris, but it never happened. But you know. So I'm.
Even if they did, the Parisians would still. Who cares? Oh, you're
I think I should be Picasso.
Okay.
Yeah, because I want to get the girl.
No. Okay, go ahead.
No, just because I know it and it's complicated, and you could never understand it in a million years.
I'm just glad you did hillbilly science.
Okay, so Picasso and Einstein get into an argument in a bar. He says, blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, he's talking about a painting, and he says, Picasso says, you look at that nasty old thing, and you see a picture of some sheep in a landscape. Enter me. I see it different. Are you know where we are?
Yes, sir, right there.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I love this language you write.
Me, he's talking about a painting. He says, I see it differently.
Hold, Mr. Benny. No. Well, Rochester, it's Einstein. We'll never get there. Mr. Bentley, what are we going to do now?
That's all.
He's traveling on a train, and he seems to be traveling at the same speed.
You're reading it beautifully.
I know. Here we go.
Okay, he's looking at the pen. Okay, and you just jump in anywhere.
No. You have your dialogue.
I know, I'm trying to say it.
Oh, okay.
He's looking at the painting.
Okay.
I see it as an empty frame with something hideous in it that's waiting to be filled up with something new. Picks up a pencil. Advancing out into the unknown, the undrawn, the new thing must be coaxed out of its cave, wrestled with, and finally pinned upon the wall like a hide. When I look at Goya, it's like he's reaching his hand through the centuries to tap me on the shoulder. When I paint, I feel I am reaching my hand forward hundreds of years to touch someone too.
I work the same way. I make beautiful things with a pencil.
You? You're just a scientist. For me, the shortest distance between 2 points is not a straight line.
Likewise.
Let's see one of your creations. Now, we pull out pencils and we start to draw. I draw Picasso. And now, oh yes, we go like this first. We're going to draw like this. Like this.
Goy,
And then-
crazy goy.
Crazy Spaniard. Yeah. Okay. And then I say, draw.
Done.
Ba, 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 ba. Now we swap. Oh, where were we? Oh, sorry.
It's perfect.
Thank you.
I'm talking about mine.
I'm reading it. I said, it's a formula.
So it's yours.
Well, it was a little hastily drawn. Yours is letters.
Yours is lines.
My lines mean something.
So do mine.
Mine is beautiful.
Men have wound on seeing that. Swooned.
Be swooned.
Swooned, yes, excuse me.
Wound.
Swooned is like a... Wound is like, whoa! Swoon is like, oh, Miss Scarlet.
So,
Men have swooned on seeing that.
exactly. Mine touches the heart.
Mine touches the head.
Mine will change the future.
Oh, and mine won't, mister?
That's it. Of course, the point of the play was that,
Col maghisso remelo delle play.
thank you, is that the thinking at the highest level of scientists and
Eine ganze
artists
Menschenlein arbeitet, wo einste, wo denn einen over gegen seinen Hege.
I'm going to repeat that because I think you mistranslated it. The thinking at the highest level of
Oh, can
scientists...
you
Wait,
how
Okay, I think I know how to do this now.
Okay.
The thinking at the highest level
China ONA.
of scientists and artists
Les artistes et les scientifiques les meilleurs.
is intuitive and similar.
Et la cabeza.
You know what?
That was...
I got an idea. Go ahead.
There was quantum comedy. You know, two comedy
Yeah.
concepts existing simultaneously in the same universe.
You know, I think we could do well together.
This could be the start of a wonderful friendship, right?
We could, like,
Hey,
like Dean and Jerry. Oh, no.
Let me put my glasses back on and I can see stuff.
Ah, yes. But, you know, actually, you were saying that...
Your move. So you ordered one from column A and two from column B, and you all order the same dish. It all comes out with broccoli beef. Everything here adds up to broccoli beef. I have one quick question. Up until the Crusades, the number 0 did not exist, right? In Western civilization.
That is a lie! How dare you imply that the number 0... Ooh, I think he's right? Yeah.
So we brought that back along with a lot of other, booty, as they say. So the Romans had no number 0. It was just like the concept of there was nothing. It was just you start right off I, and if you're in an emergency, it'd be IXIX or IXII. But or phone sex in Rome.
How long have you been back on drugs, Robin? I'm just curious.
I'm just happy to be here, Steve. Happy to be here.
So the number zero all of a sudden became a concept, and that's a very primal concept, the idea of zero, and then later on, once you have zero established, then you can go negative. Yeah, oh, that's negative, that's positive, or hither and yon.
Right.
Up, down, sideways, and...
So what did they do? Bob, you're so smart. What
I didn't say.
what did they do before zero? I mean, I guess it's just a zero is a concept, a mathematical concept. Really,
Right.
isn't it?
But there was a Latin word, null, meaning nothing.
Nothing was around, but
Nothing.
But nothing, but
They
you
had
still
nothing. They
yeah,
had nothing.
They
They
had
had
nothing, but even the Buddhists would go, you still have something. A Buddhist physicist, you're here, you're gone, doesn't matter. You're traveling at the speed of life. I'll get there never.
So you want to do another scene? I got another scene.
What do you got?
Okay.
He's got born yesterday. It's a really good one.
So,
Whoa, Mr. Bentley, we're going there again.
Should,
so this one.
maybe we can do something from Suddenly Last Summer on the beach. What's that one?
So this one is
My
Einstein.
remarks were misinterpreted.
Oh,
I never
Einstein
meant-
and Germain.
Well, anybody else. I thought,
I said
one person
Negro.
Einstein, the other can do. Just alternate. Get it?
Oh, I see.
One of you is Einstein, the other is
Well, you're
everybody
doing
else.
well with Einstein.
I'm getting close. I have to remember that he was a Swiss,
I'll be-
Swiss Deutsch, and I've never heard tapes of Einstein speaking. I never knew that he was always like that, but also and could speak Yiddish really well. That's a nice thing, and had the affair with a Russian spy, and supposedly his wife.
Oh my God, I thought you were talking about me.
Oh no. I was going, wait a minute. And there was also the theory that his wife really did write the theory of relativity, but then there's other people say never.
Yes.
But no one ever found her again. She disappeared. So that really is relative.
Suspicious. Right?
She's a suspicious ending. What happened, Albert? Nothing.
Get rid of the evidence.
Yeah, there's no
Evidence of her ever existing or other theories.
Okay, here we go, I guess. I don't know. You want to try this?
Yeah, what
This
about
is,
heavy water, though?
Einstein and Freddie the bartender.
All right.
Who's doing his accounts at the bar. Anyone know? By the way, you just did this. I haven't read this ever in my life. I just want you to know that.
This is a first.
Okay, so here I am, the bartender.
Can
Anyone
I
know?
try Einstein as Marlon? Just
Yes, please do.
those accents and
Well, there is. I must say, this needs a little tempo.
Oh,
So,
Okay, I can't
who would
pick
have tempo?
well, Jack's pretty good.
Anybody but Einstein.
Yeah.
of course.
Well, Mr. Bentley!
No, I'll go back
That
to
might
that.
actually work.
Yeah.
Peter Lorre, I never thought that would work.
No tempo.
He would always be going, mathematics confused me because the numbers kept bouncing around a lot. And I never knew that who was it all the time that Bohr knew and he never shared the secret? How funny.
What about like a cartoon, like a Daffy?
Elmer Fudd.
Okay, Elmer Fudd. Okay, here we go.
Hello.
Yeah.
25
Here-
francs 16.
I'll go back to Einstein. We'll do it like that for you.
Okay. Here Freddie the bartender said, anyone know what 62 francs 33 minus 37 francs 17 is?
25 francs 16.
You're sure?
25 16.
You're positive?
Positive, absolutely.
It's just that you came up with it awfully quick.
Look, if you want to be different, there's nothing I can do about it.
I'll work on it tomorrow.
It'll be the same tomorrow.
I've got my accountant friend coming over tomorrow. He can check it. He checks everything anyway.
You could have a math squad from Vishnu Numerical Center for the Intellectually Profound come over, and it's still going to be 25 francs 16.
Are you a professor?
No, I'm not.
What do you do?
By day, I work in the patent office.
What do you do there?
By day, I register notions. That's really, well, that's what they are, really, notions, shortcuts. How to get something to do something quicker.
And what do you do at night?
I turn pages.
At night, the stars come out.
The stars in the sky?
The stars in my head.
And after the stars in your head come out?
I write it down.
Uh-huh. You been published?
No, not yet.
Yeah, we're all writers, aren't we? He's a writer that hasn't been published, and I'm a writer who hasn't written anything. And you're welcome here. We get a lot of artist types, writers, poets, painters. What do you write about?
I can't even begin to explain.
Try, simplify it. Can you say what it's about in one sentence?
It's about everything.
You mean like the relationships between men and women?
Bigger.
You mean like life from birth to death?
Bigger.
Like the warring of nations and the movements of people?
Bigger.
I see, sort of like the Earth and its place in the solar system?
Keep going.
Okay, you're dealing with the universe and everything contained in it.
Why stop there?
Well, that's it. Anyway, go on. Gee, we've made a mess. We've got a whole thing.
Look at this.
Papers and things.
Yeah, papers
It should
and
be a bigger
masks.
mess. I think it should be a little bit bigger. There we go. Here's a paper clip. We'll put that on it. They destroyed the stage. It was a
Oh,
mess.
mathematics trashing the room.
That's
Here's
really
your
what-
theorem. What'd you do? Stop it! You've gone crazy, Newton. Look, it's all about inertia.
It's like the Osbournes, but in the 16th century. It'd be really good.
What have you done? I've written down formulas. It's all about inverse proportions. It's brilliant, really.
You mean formulas.
Formulas. It's once people get close, the attraction increases inversely to how ugly they are. But of course, if you add alcohol, the variables go down. And gravity takes over and you wake up in a field. But a quantum field where you can exist except for that cat that keeps dying and coming back to life. Schrodinger, pick up your cat.
He's dead, he's alive. What a pet.
Take the dog for a walk.
I think we've lost control.
I know. Sorry.
So would you like to read about Schrodinger or about from your...
Oh, it'll just never play now.
How
You
about
have the French book here, right? Did you read from the French book?
how about the thing from your new book?
It's too poignant.
Oh, the French book. Okay.
This is your.
While you look for that, I'll read from briefly.
Okay.
Problème plaisant et délictable qui sont
Question.
par les nombres, which means little pleasant problems for numbers. Problème plaisant et délictable. And there's a picture of boys and girls. Look at him. Tell me he's happy. Look at that.
He's happy. Something going on below frame.
Yeah. He's the anti-Salvador Dali. We'll just read one paragraph of this, okay? There's the dedicated to mon chéri Sioulou qui a fait un bon nuit avec moi. Donc. Je vous offre des jeux, mais qui sont, à mon avis, dignes de votre bel esprit et capables de lui fournir quelquefois un agréable divertissement. Fun games for you and your friends. You'll have a great time.
Nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed. Je suis sujet de juger ainsi, puisque j'ai le bonheur de connaître par expérience les belles qualités que vous possédez et le plaisir que vous prenez aux mathématiques. All of these wonderful things can be yours if you enjoy mathematics. Et particulièrement en cette sortie de jeux qui se font par les nombres, these little games you are made by numbers.
It's a children's book.
Yes.
Yeah.
A children's book for very, very bright and precocious children who live in France and hate everyone else.
So clearly, we're going to have a whole other session where you are the guest and Steve.
Oh, no. We've had a lot of fun tonight.
Yes.
By the way, Robin, the pay is fantastic.
But
What are
now-
those, Bob?
These are questions for Steve from the audience.
Uh-huh. Now remember, they're for Steve. No. You take one, then I'll take one.
No,
Or
Steve.
We'll speak up.
I'm only here if you need someone to call as your lifeline.
Okay.
Okay. What was
Anyone can answer, including the questioner. Go ahead.
What was your favorite movie you've been in, and what medium do you prefer? Film, stand-up, books, theater?
Perfect math question. Gee, you know, what am I gonna say? Well, I don't know. Favorite films, I don't. I think my favorite, you know, film and writing are so opposite because film is active and there's people around and you go to work early, and writing you do in a solitary state at any time you want. So it's almost yin-yang, I guess. Or
Yin and yang.
yin-yang.
But very seldom people say yin yang.
Yin-yang.
That's a Chinese comedy team. One is funny, one is not, but it does not matter. That's why they all order the broccoli beef, because all the same on the Magic Square menu.
Okay.
Okay, here's...
Okay, ask me a question, but I think ask me a question about me, but Robin should take it. So go ahead.
Okay. How can mathematicians be more in the movies?
Everything is show business. I've been saying it for years.
Well, the one thing you don't see in the
Hey, by the
movies-
way,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
Because,
It's your night.
yeah, well, it was, but the gentleman here who did the hand modeling for A Beautiful Mind is here,
Yes,
right?
he's here.
Have you had him up on stage here before?
Yes, not here, but we have it on
The hand
Commonwealth
modeling, you
Club.
mean actually wrote the formula?
Yeah, let's get him up, but just his hand. Where is he?
Dave, where are you?
Did he leave? Oh, he's up there. Just okay. Well, we'll see you in an hour. Okay, there's his hand. That's all.
That's
I
his
wanna
hand.
see. Please hide your face. I have a question for you. When you're buying something at a store, do people go?
Yeah. Yes?
You may sit. You take direction well, and that's important. But I don't understand formulas. We never.
No, left hand. Left hand.
Oh, sorry.
So, wasn't it left hand?
You know, we never
Yeah.
got to.
Yes.
Well, a question I have is, what are all those formulas? Does it still, at those formulas of physics, is there still an equal sign, or is it just the equal sign is gone and it's something else?
Well,
I'm serious. No, like an algebraic formula would be an equal sign in the middle, but some of these formulas never look like they get to the equal sign. So go, Bob. And here's your
How
mic,
about-
Bob. And it'd be great if you stood up and you went like this, and you went like this, Bob. Do it. Sorry.
How about
Wait,
E-
Robin's going crazy. Here. You okay?
I'm better.
Okay, good.
how
Real
about-
good, real good. Bob had the mic for 4 seconds. 4 seconds.
God.
Real good, real good. Equal signs, not game theory. It was game theory in A Beautiful Mind. Game theory, that's what he was designing. That's what you were writing down. Game theory, it's okay.
Okay, he's fine now. Go ahead.
How about E equals MC squared?
You didn't know that? Well, I know. Oh, anyway, my point is just I needed like a tutor to get to my point. Oh.
Okay.
Michael, put the baby down.
What do you see the baby? Look, I'm Galileo.
Michael, put the baby down.
If I drop the baby, it'll fall 32 feet per second per second.
Put the baby down, Michael.
Okay.
Wait. Afghani ventriloquist. Are you happy to be here?
Please, I can take these off now. What are you doing?
Please say no.
Please, the number 0.
Okay.
So, another question.
Take it, Bob.
I'm glad I got the question fast. Says, we love The Frightened Family from your TV show. Any way to view that series?
It doesn't quite make sense. The Frightened Family was a bit on Saturday Night Live.
Right.
Their hair went up like that.
Oh, right.
They get frightened and their hair would go.
All right.
But a series? No, I don't know. It's just an old Saturday Night Live.
Well, a lot of them are on video. You can get, I don't know whether that one is.
And there you go. You know? I wish I'd thought of that. Hey,
Other than
give us
that-
another question. These are
Another
getting good.
question.
Yeah.
We're on the roll now.
Yeah.
Woo, boy! How much
Okay.
money have we raised for the Hillbilly Science Institute? Our number's open. We can't count, so please send it in for us. My wife, Entropy, is over there, falling apart. My 2 boys, well, it's 1 boy with 2 heads. We call him the twin. We're down here. We're here at the Gregor Mendel home game. We've been experimenting with breeding, and pretty much you don't have to worry about cloning because we've been doing it for years. It's pretty much a permutation of an equation that just goes on, and you end up with what's my name? You end up with people you can say nice tooth. But you got another question there.
Yeah, I got another question here. It says, did you like math as a young boy?
I've already answered that. Go ahead, Robin. Did you like math?
I enjoyed it up until calculus, and geometry was kind of sexy. The idea of
I like geometry.
Geometry is always fun. You know, geometry is the one thing you can talk about and kind of go, yeah, baby. Yeah,
Thing is equal to itself.
yeah. Get ready to bisect that angle. Yeah, an equilateral, yeah. Yeah, now, what are we going? Oh, obtuse, yeah.
I'd love to give you the area of a circle, but I can't.
I can't. Yeah. Come over here and show me that diameter. Come over here.
So here's another one.
Oh, Bob. You and your questions.
How would you describe the Big Bang to a 5-year-old?
Well, not to a priest, number 1. Tommy, I'd like to talk to you about the Big Bang.
Father Bill, I have to go home now.
Oh, Tommy, it's just science. Come over here.
I would probably explain it in more religious terms, actually. So, I'm not particularly religious, but it's like an easy way to explain it.
Namely?
Well, there was nothing, and then suddenly there was everything, I guess. So. And then, no, go wash up.
Yes, you went.
Well, yeah, I have a question. There was an article in the New York Times that talked about the end of the universe, where eventually that instead of the theory that they thought, for a while they thought that if the universe is expanding and expanding, and they thought eventually it'll contract again. But then some physicists, the big crunch?
Yes.
The Big Bang and then the big crunch, and
Right.
afterwards a nice snack.
Right.
Yeah, it's the Jewish theory of the universe. The Big Bang, and then later there's a crunch, and we start over. But the idea that it'll just expand, and then all that'll be left is basically iron particles, and that's it.
Well, if I may jump in here, there
Please.
is a theory that
Line 2, Cleveland.
that I think it was in your book that maybe I'm wrong, but the universe keeps expanding, and eventually you'll see no stars.
Right.
I mean, if we live that long, but there would just be nothing
Shirley
else.
MacLaine will.
Everything, because everything would be so far from everything else.
But then they said, to save it just for the people, that's the ultimate, that messed up my day, saying that eventually the universe will end. But then the people who believe in the multiple dimensional theory say that this universe will end, but then at the same time the black holes are feeding into another universe and it's beginning again because there's another Big Bang and that whole other universe continues again with the 13 multidimensional series, that they're being sucked through the other warps and coming out and building up to other little universes all around the
But
other
that's
universes.
crazy. That's crazy talk.
Well, it worked at the time.
Okay, I got
Yeah.
another one for you. This one says, what actors, writers, comedians influenced you, and which of your contemporaries do you admire? How do you like that? Yes.
What Steve doesn't know.
I can't even. I can't even go there. I mean, it's such a serious question.
Right.
Who do I admire? I mean, who did I? What?
Which ones influenced you when you were, getting into...
Oh, but specifically, I would say Jerry Lewis and Jack Binney, Laurel and Hardy. What would you say?
Jonathan Winters,
Jonathan Winters.
Henry Kissinger. I don't know why, just because, when you talk like that,
You just looked at him and said, "That's what I want to do."
Yeah. It's nice that he's heading the 9/11 Commission now. It's
Not
kinda
anymore.
No.
Not anymore? Oh, that's
Quit.
right.
Yeah.
I can't give up those names. Well, that's good if you're on a committee investigating security. You can't.
Yeah.
Who are those people you work with? I can't tell you. It's kind of like having...
Oh, no, we don't
No,
go there.
can't go there. Oh, Mr. Cheney. No, can't talk about that.
Okay.
Doesn't Henry Kissinger sound like he's in a witness protection program, though? All you need is the fuzzed out face. I don't know anything. I never whacked those guys. I never talked to John Gotti. Who knew? The guy fell asleep. He fell asleep 5 times and fell on his knife 8 times. Who knew? Cambodia, who knew? I'm sorry.
Okay, here's one more question. Philosophy has played an important part in your life and writings. Who is your favorite philosopher or writer?
Well, I studied philosophy in college, and it's strictly amateur night. I don't take myself too seriously about it, but it did affect me a lot. And I think, I was a sucker for the next philosopher in the history of philosophy. So I would read Plato and go, "Oh, this is great. This is really good." And then you read Aristotle, and then you'd read Descartes and go, "Oh, I see. This is the one I believe." So I ended up with Wittgenstein, who wiped out everything, and then I left school.
So he's your favorite.
He's my favorite. He got me out of college.
And how about writers? When you were writing?
Oh, gee, that's a tough one because so many, fiction, nonfiction, I don't know. But I can tell you the 3 writers who influenced me most, and it always sounds, when somebody says who influenced you most, and you say Dickens, but it sounds like you think you're Dickens. But I would say the people who influenced me most were T.S. Eliot and Dylan Thomas and E.E. Cummings. And T.S. Eliot taught me about the meaning of words, and Dylan Thomas taught me about the beauty of words, and E.E. Cummings taught me about the rhythm of words. And all 3 aspects have affected my writing, I think.
That's interesting because, one of the things in your writing which always strikes me is how visual it is. That, you're so visually aware in your descriptions. You're so aware people dress the way they look, and it's striking. I guess you're interested in art in general. But,
Well, I believe that's very important, actually, for the reader to be able to see it clearly. I think it's extremely important. And I also believe that once you lie, and I mean by lying, I mean describe something that the reader has a little doubt actually could be happening or cannot see clearly, that they get bored. And you can't allow that. So you always have to tell the truth, and that means, a very liberal definition of what truth is. But human behavior is very important, and logic is very important. And when they walk in a room and the door's behind them, it can't be in front of them 2 pages later. It's the smallest aspect of it. But
yeah, well, both in Shop Girl and in your new book, the main character is kind of dysfunctional, very, very sympathetic, appealing, but different levels of dysfunctional.
Hey, maybe I should close because we're almost done, right?
Right.
I mean, read that last little bit. You have to go.
I'm not going.
Okay.
How much money have we raised?
It would have been a record had it not been for our fee. Should I do this? This little,
What do you say? Yeah.
This is a little piece from the book. Again, it's actually a funny book. I think you've read it. It's a lot of humor in it, but the pieces I'm reading relate to math, so therefore... This is his moment. He's talking about his habit of counting as an obsession. My ceiling is not conducive to counting. Its texture is created by pulling the trowel flatly away from the wet plaster, leaving a rippling surface, as though a baker had come in and spread around vanilla icing with a spatula. This means I'm looking at a very irregular surface. Counting prefers symmetry of some kind, though at my level of sophistication, I usually can get around most obstacles. The least interesting ceiling for me now is one that is practically counted out already, squared off acoustical tiles with regular punctures that simply require a little multiplication on my part. Each tile has 64 sound-absorbing holes times the easily calculated number of tiles in the ceiling. Ugh. But my irregular ceiling, no tiles, no quadrants, no recurring punctures, takes a little thought on my part to slice it up, count, and quantify. Like an ocean, its surface is irregular, but also like an ocean, it's easy to imagine an unbroken plane just below the surface of the undulating waves. Once I can imagine an unbroken plane, the bisecting and trisecting of my fairly square ceiling becomes much easier. Triangles, rectangles, and interlocking parallelograms are all superimposed over the ceiling, and in my mind they meld into the birthday cake frosting of the plaster. The problem with counting is that anything, any plane, any object can be divided infinitely, like Zeno's tortoise heading for the finish line. So it's a problem to know when to stop. If I've divided my ceiling into 64 sections, I wonder whether to have it again and again and again. But that's not all. The sections must be sliced up in three-dimensional space too, so the numbers can become unmanageable very quickly. But that's the thing about a brain. Large numbers are easily accommodated. I can only remember one incidence of this habit occurring prior to my teen years. 8 years old, I sat with my parents in our darkened living room watching TV. My father muttered something to me, and my response was slow, perhaps intentionally slow. I replied disinterestedly, "Huh?" with hardly enough breath to make it audible. My father's fist uppercut the underside of the folding metal stand that held his TV dinner, sending it flying, and he rose and turned toward me, whipping his belt from his waist. My mind froze him in action, and I saw, like ice cracking, a bifurcating line run from his head to his feet. Next, a horizontal line split him at midpoint. Then the rest of the lines appeared, dividing him into 8ths, 16ths, 32nds, and so on. I don't remember what happened next.
Well, I'm afraid our time is up, and I thank you so much for coming.
It was very enjoyable.
And I thank you for joining Robin Williams, and thank you for coming. Okay.
A little,
That's right.
Thanks very much. I'll just keep it like that.
Okay.
Thank you very much. That was great, Rob.
Well, that was wonderful.